My name is Subramanian, and I'm here all the way from India to meet you guys and talk to you guys. Growing up in India, I see all the challenges that the world is today super conscious about, be it poverty, poor standards of education, women's health, bad access to public health, sanitation, you name it, even public waste. And I've, for the most part, been even oblivious to it because that was my normal. I grew up in that, and I don't know what is better than that. And you take that thought and keep it with you. I will come back to it. So a few years back, or until a few years back, I didn't even know what sustainability was, right? Not just the word. I don't think anyone understands the word sustainability, but the idea of having a good quality life, a high standard of living that you guys have, I had no clue about it. It's only until when I traveled outside India, you see how nice and better things are. And I can say that for most people in developing countries and in India, we don't know what better standards of living are because we are not used to it. So when you don't know, what do you fight for? When you don't know, how do you fight it? So in 2018, I was selected as the YSI Fellow by Oslo's very own Young Sustainable Impact, where I learned about sustainability, where I learned to make products and a business for social good. And from then on, my journey started in really thinking about social good and try and make an impact along the way. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about my journey, some of the struggles I've faced in the last 1 year being a sole founder, and some pointers for those who wish to take some action. Firstly, the most important thing, and even the easiest thing, is to care and to understand how deeply do you care. And I'm saying this because today care is being cheaply used, right? A lot of young people, and even the elders, say that I want to change the world, or I'm doing this because I want to make the world a better place. Don't get me wrong, this is good and beautiful, but on a story level, on a concept level, right? Or if you want to score some free feel-good points. But genuine care is deep-rooted by a feeling of strong disgust and a desperate call for wanting something better. And that's where I go back to when you don't know something, what do you fight for, right? My travels outside has opened my eyes to a better standard of living that you guys have. And things like free public health, free education, and that is the foundation of a better human being or progress among society across generations. So with that, how do I apply that to my context? I have grown up in Mumbai, and for the most part of my life, I have grown up with waste all around me, right? Mumbai is one of the dirtiest cities in the world, but you got to do something when you feel like you deserve better. And I feel I deserve better, my friends deserve better, and that's why I started Waymore to try and make an attempt to solve plastic pollution. But in the journey, one of the most important things that I've struggled with is finding selfish happiness, right? I know it's cliche that finding happiness is the most important thing. Everyone's heard the Steve Jobs speech, but when you think about a big concept that I'm going to try and solve plastic pollution, you feel good, right? Just thinking about it. But let me tell you, once you're in the project, running it for 6 months, it really, really comes down to what do you feel happy about. And I say this not at a concept level where you are building your concept or thinking about the potential impact that you guys will make, in the problem that you're attempting. But I'm saying that try and find real personal happiness in the daily tasks you do, because it's going to come and face you head on 6 months after you are in your project. Another thing which surprises me is that there's so much support, especially in Norway, for sustainability and for good projects, but nobody knows how to judge these projects, right? And for us, I've struggled with a lot of people defining impact for us. So if you look at a traditional company or a traditional startup, how do you see their impact? They have so many users, they have been to so much revenue, etc. But you cannot take that and apply to all the startups, right? Impact to most people today in investing or in clean energy or just clean space is equal to success. And I'm saying that impact is not equal to success. Impact is not equal to the money you bring, right? So you change a personal habit like this guy said, that is an impact, right? But that necessarily isn't a success in its start, but that is definitely an impact. And that's why I go back and say that impact is not equal to success. Impact is not related to the amount or the volume you do, right? For example, you could even create a big social movement like Greta, or even create big impact through stand-up comedy like Nanette. So don't let anyone else define impact for you. And people try to do that a lot, especially when you try to raise funds. For us, how do we take that and apply to us is that we work very hard on plastic pollution. But if you see the size of plastic pollution keeps growing, right? It was surprising that even today, with so much awareness, we humans are consuming 1 million plastic bottles every single minute, right? And this has to change. This had to change long time back. But we are often faced as a company, my team and I, that for all the work we do and people not changing their habits and the size of the problem growing and growing, are we really making any net impact? And you come down to that. And when it comes down to such existential problems of the work you do, you have to go back and see that why are you doing it? And for us, we are truly happy about the work we do. And when you're happy about the work you do on a larger scale, on a daily basis scale, nothing really can stop you. So we are on this journey to see and make a bigger impact, but we'll see if we get there. And the last thing I want to say about, or my observation the last 1 year, is to try and worry less. And I say try because it's really hard not to, because you're young and you could have had other possible career options, or because like most youngsters feel that I'm not talented enough, or I don't have answers to this, or I just don't have funding, or I just don't have resources, people won't change. And it's very justified that you have these questions, but it's very easy to worry about these things and let that bother you. But on the global scale, what I would say is that if you try, what are you going to lose? The worst will happen is you will fail, right? And I know it's super cliche that you will learn from the experience and blah, blah, blah. But what is beautiful about failure is that, yes, you will learn a lot about, the kind of work you do or the industry you do. But the most important thing I've learned from failure is that you really learn a lot about yourself. And as young people, we honestly get very less opportunities where you learn about yourself. Because in the face of failure, you cannot fake it. And that's the most important lesson that I've taken from me as how do you take failure, accept it, and live with it. And if you can change it, well and good. But if you can't, that's also okay, right? For us personally, as a company, 2019 has been the most challenging year. And one of the challenges that I want to talk about today is how did we survive? So back in 2018, YSI gave us a $3,000 grant, but that ran out by the end of 2018. So 2019, we have not been funded yet, still running the company somehow sustainably in the sense of finance. And in the sense that I haven't paid myself for a year, we haven't had money to bring in new employees to grow the company, but even in these face of big challenges, I have learned that you will find joy in things that you didn't even think about, and that makes you worry less, right? And it happens only if you put yourself out there. For me, one of the most amazing things that has happened is somehow being able to pay the salaries. And two of my team members are the only sole breadwinners of their family. And for me to think about, after I pay every paycheck in a month, it's an incredible feeling that I have never experienced in my life. That they are responsible for their family, and I somehow managed to pay this month, and we'll worry about the next month when the 20th of next month comes. Another thing that makes me worry less now that 1 year into the company is all of our customers have come back and done a repeat order. And that says a lot about the quality work you do. But what I draw from that is, if the work you're doing is very honest, like for example, we don't have a lot of answers about the work we do or the t-shirts we create, because I'm not from the textile background, but you got to be honest about the work you do and the things you don't know. And honesty really goes a long way. And that's the most things I want to talk about. So all these experience, if you see, has come from running Waymore for the last 1 year. And what we do at Waymore is we recycle waste plastic bottles into t-shirts. But in the 1 year, what I'm really proud about is that we've recycled 75,000 waste plastic bottles from my city in the streets of India and converted them into t-shirts, and we're going after 1 million by 2021. So if you'd like to support us, there will be some of the t-shirts going on sale tomorrow at the DGF exhibition. Yeah, that would be cool.